guys! So today I'm going to talk about something which is a bit unpleasant, and it makes me sad to even think of these things, but I feel like it could be really interesting because whenever I tell people I'm vegan, there are two sort of arguments. Well, there is one, but I think it annoys me for two different reasons that comes back very often. It's like, oh, but I love meat too much, or I love cheese too much. I don't know how you do it. I really admire you for doing that, but I could not give up on cheese, or I could not give up on meat, or I could not give up on fish, and blah, 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 blah. It makes it sound like either it was so easy for me, which it was in a way. So that's why I'm vegan, and those people love these things so much they cannot, just give up on those awful things. Or because I'm some sort of superior being with higher standards of moral, which I really hope I'm not, because that would mean yours are quite low. Or it just assumes that I did not like these things, that I did not love fish, that I did not love cheese, that I did not love meat or eggs or dairy or whatever. That's so far from the truth. Like, that's so far from the truth. I became a vegan about a bit more than 3 years ago, I think. I'm so vocal about it, so I do understand why people sort of picture me as the vegan and slash that's it. But you have to remember that I once had the same plate as you, or maybe even worse. I'm French, as you probably know, and France is known for its cuisine, and one big component of French cuisine is definitely animal products. You cannot really avoid meat, fish, dairy, and eggs in French cuisine, or French pastry, for example. So I was brought up, eating a normal sort of French diet, and I had probably almost all the traditional whatever sort of meats you could think. Everything really, I ate them, I used to love rabbit because the flesh of rabbits is really, really tender and soft. I used to love ducks, little filet or whatever in that very caramelized sauce. On Sundays we were getting the whole chicken. My mom and I have turns for who would get the corpse, because I like to take off the flesh, the flesh that was left on the bones. Yeah, and I soak the bones. I used to love eating raw meat. My dad would make this thing that's called a steak tartare, and it's basically raw beef. I would love that. I would love that. And I love to cook, and I would touch the meat and I would not be disgusted at all, like never. When it comes to fish, I love fish. I love fish. What about eggs? Actually, my favorite dish was an omelette. So I loved omelette with potatoes, mushrooms omelette, onions omelette, and dairy. Oh my god, dairy, one of the loves of my life. Okay, that's the thing. People always like cheese. Cheese is so difficult to give up. Cheese is amazing. I love cheese. I couldn't live with cheese. And I'm like, I am French. We have so many fucking different kinds of cheese. And I mean real cheese with different flavors, different scents, different textures, different colors, different shapes, everything. I love cheese. All sorts of cheese, like really. I had cheese for breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner. And ice creams and yogurts. Okay, so I'm huge still now, they're like soy yogurts or coconut yogurts. I love yogurts. I would have them all the time, and ice cream was and still is one of my favorite things to eat. So when people are like, oh, but it's so difficult for me, I'm like, it's not too difficult for you, it's just you're a fucking either ignorant person or a very selfish person, because I loved all those things. I really did, and I think I did more than most people actually. It pains me to say that, but I really, really liked meat. When I made the connection between the food and the animals, I stopped. It was not about how much do I like those things, or how much it's going to be difficult, or how much I'm going to miss these dishes. Like, who thinks of that when you are faced with death, pain, suffering, exploitation, slavery, torture, rape? Who thinks of, oh my god, it's gonna be too difficult to give up on that plate of whatever, or that dish that I really like? Who thinks of that? Seriously, who? That's like, for me, that's mind-blowing. And the reason why I am so harsh, maybe, to some of you, or I sound so extreme or whatever, is because I've been in your situation. I've been in that situation where I loved all those things, but I went vegetarian and I went vegan immediately. As soon as I made the connection, I stopped eating those things and I changed. And I don't understand why people don't do it. And honestly, there's no good reason not to do it. I do understand maybe for some people it's going to be harder. Maybe you're going to get cravings, but what are you? Are you like a beast? Or are you someone that has a brain, a heart, a soul, values, morals, dignity, humility, a sense of duty, a sense of respect for life and other living beings? When I realized, fuck, those are animals that don't belong to me, that never hurt me, that are being killed, transported in awful conditions, treated like objects just for me, and I'm claiming that I'm a good person and I'm claiming that I love animals, doesn't make any sense. Humanity is disgusting when it comes to animals, really. You have to realize that. And it does not matter how much you love your meat. You know why? Because it's not your meat. It's the body of someone else. And you have no right to take the body of someone else. I just wanted to put that out there because I don't want you to think I was this person that, was born vegan, or that never really liked the taste of meat, or that liked vegetables more than meat. I also loved eating animals. You really have to realize that veganism is the only solution to end animal slavery. I hope you know, as always, that I'm just being true, raw, honest. It's not against you, it's not to attack you, it's not to offend you, it's just to deliver the truth and help the animals.